Hey guys, Psalm 119, verse 90. Oh boy, this is good. Your faithfulness continues throughout all generations. You establish the earth and it stands. God is the initiator of it all. He's the sustainer of it all, and he's going to be the completer of it all. If completer is a word. He brings things into full fruition. He is faithful. Faithful is he who calls you. He'll also bring it to pass. He's the author and the finisher of our faith, and he's the God of all this in the in-between. Boy, through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come, said John Newton in Amazing Grace, the great hymn. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, temptations, tests, and trials. And yet he's saying your faithfulness continues throughout all generations. You know, even in the occasions of the dark ages where the church lapsed, God never lapsed. During revival, well, we sense his activity. And during the receding times of apathy, God is never apathetic. God is always faithful. In fact, the Bible says if we're faithless, he remains faithful. For to deny himself, he is unable. You know, a lot of people say there's nothing the Lord can't do. Well, he can't lie. He can't deny himself. You know, he's faithful. And so, you know, it continues. And it continues through all generations. I mean, you study the scriptures and you read about the days of Joseph and the famine and how God used him and helped him through his trials. You read about David facing Goliath and the Philistines and all the challenges, or Moses and Joshua and Caleb in the succession of God's faithfulness repeatedly over and over again in their lives. I love the Old Testament stories because they're pointing to the faithfulness and predictable mercies of God. Jeremiah had a book called Lamentations, and he said, the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies or compassions never come to an end. They are new every morning. Get this, great is your faithfulness. You know, there's a Lutheran hymn, great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. A mighty fortress is our God. I don't know if that first one was Lutheran, but I think A Mighty Fortress was by Martin Luther. This one, your faithfulness continues. Psalm 36, verse 5 says it this way. And this was a song we sang in my early days as a Christian. Psalm 36:5, your loving kindness, O Lord, extends to the heavens. Your faithfulness reaches to the skies. Your righteousness is like the mountains of God. Your judgments are like a great deep. O Lord, you preserve man and beast. How precious is your loving kindness, O God. Great is your faithfulness. The children of men take refuge in the shadow of your wings. They drink the fill of the abundance of your house, and you give them to drink of the rivers of your delights. For with you is the fountain of life, and in your light we see light. Say it, great is your faithfulness. We can trust God through high times and hard times. We can trust God when the news around us is grim, when people abandon us, when people say things. We just say, God, you know what? I'm going to let your word be the final say. And having done all to stand, we stand. God bless you.